What's up, everybody, and welcome to the channel. My name is Darwin here with Piano Mastery Sessions, where we believe and cultivate the master within. This is going to be an awesome lesson, guys, that I have planned for you. But before we begin, I'd like to share a thought of the day that I just wrote. And it goes like this. Small changes go a long way through the power of compounding effect. So we can see excellence as a habit we develop over time. As long as there's consistency towards strengthening our habit system and committed to the process, we will begin to hear and feel our growth as musicians, which in turn fuels our joy throughout the journey of transformation. It's better to be married to a vision of the future if the vision of the past does not excite or empower us. There was a time, guys, I would wake up in the morning and try to practice, and it was not happening because I was just too in the future. I was worried about how can I get better quick, and you just got to put in the time. We got to put in the time, and that's why we are here today, because we want to get better, that 1% that we were yesterday. All right, here we go. What we're gonna do today in the lesson is a tune by the great famous pianist Kenny Barrón. It's called Voyage. It's one of my favorite tunes. And I want to share with you a process, a systematic approach to learning standards that has really helped me learn quicker. And it is, number one, learn the melody really well. Number two, learn the chord structure and practice it over and over and over, without the melody, without soloing. And then you put those two together. You play the melody and the chords. And number three, then you start getting familiar with how to improvise. Okay, so I'm gonna play the melody real quick, and then we'll get to the improvisation. So that is the melody, and the goal is to know that melody so well that you can eventually add the chords, and that will really lay down the foundation for you to be able to solo. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna play the chord structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would do this over and over and over and over, but we won't do that in this lesson. I just wanted to give you the approaches so you can get into the lesson, and for you to take your time and get into those systems. All right, so the third thing to do is to combine the melody and the chords. So this is what I'm gonna take it a little slower just so you can see the possibilities of voicing your chords here. Here we have a F minor 9. You could do it as a F minor 13. Then you got a G flat minor 9. Then you got an F7. F7, which I convert into an F sharp diminished. Then we do a B flat chord, B flat minor 7, G minor half diminished, C C7 altered. And this is just a simple walk down: A flat 13, G 13, G flat 13 to the F minor. C7. You see? One more time from the top. Then we do a 2-5 to the D flat major. Do the bridge one more time. All right, so the more familiar we are with the chords, then the easier it becomes for us to create around it. So one more time. One, the bridge. A 1, 2, 3. So with the melody, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. You see, so here we have a 2-5. Chromatic 2-5s. So if this part is a challenge, I would like for you to just isolate the left hand. One more time, just the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put the melody and the chords together. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back to the head. Alright, so we have reached the part where we improvise. Okay, now I like to call this chord tone soloing. What is chord tone soloing? Chord tone soloing is basing your ideas based on the chord tones. The chord tones are the building blocks to chords and linear harmony. So you got to make an F minor chord. You need the 1, the flat 3, the 5, and the flat 7. Then it goes to G flat minor. You got the 1, flat 3, C sharp, and E, right? So those are the two chords, and I always practice like the first 2 to 4 chords of a tune, because it starts building that confidence. Once you start building that confidence, the rest of the tune is really based on that initial momentum. So I like to feel good right at the beginning and not try to take such a big bite of the tune. So yeah, focus on the first 2 to 4 chords and really master those and feel good, and you're gonna do well. You're gonna do well. So what I'm gonna do is an exercise of connecting the thirds, all right, from one chord to the next. This is chord tone soloing. So I'm just gonna do these first 2 chords for like a minute, and I want you to see where I'm connecting the lines. Now, the minor third is not gonna be necessarily at the beginning of the bar. It can be in the middle on B2, B3, B4, but it is the guiding note, all right, that is helping me weave and create a musical sentence. So here we go, just on F sharp minor. and the F. Here we go. 1, 2, third to the third. Here's the third of F minor. Here's the third of G sharp, of G flat minor. All right, let's add a layer of notes. So if you notice, there was always a third present. Now let's do the fifth, guys. Let's do the fifth. This is chord tone soloing. We're gonna do the fifth of F minor 7 to the fifth of G flat minor 7. And what we want to do is we want to achieve a flow, okay, from one chord to the next. Now, what scales am I playing here in the improvisation? I'm playing just an F minor, natural minor, sometimes Dorian. You know, it depends where the idea goes. And the same thing for G flat. All right, so here we go. We're gonna connect the fifths from F minor 7 to G flat minor 7. 1, 2, a 1, 2. Okay, so that was the fifth. Now we're gonna do the flat seventh of each chord, which is E flat and E natural. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and it's helpful since you guys have the view of the camera to keep your eye on that E flat and notice how many times I hit the E flat and then how many times I hit the E. Okay, because it's really guiding my connections. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine the chord tones. I'm gonna go from the third to the seventh, from the seventh to the third, the fifth to the seventh, ninth to seventh, and see how I create around that concept. 1, 2, a 1, 2. So there it is, guys. Chord tone soloing. Chord tone soloing. All right, we're gonna go on to the next section. So this is the first section that we were working on. Okay, so how do we get those chords under our fingers? Well, the things that we focus on expand. So if we want to expand our familiarity with that specific section, let's forget about what we just did and let's forget about what's next, because that doesn't matter. Like everything that matters is our understanding of that section, because that's the section we want to improve. Here we go, and the part is, so here we have an F7 to a B flat minor. So let's solo on that again. Let's do the chord tones, the thirds. Here we go. 1, 2, just F7 to B flat. Ready, go. So basically I'm doing F7, 2, 3, 4, B flat minor to B flat minor. The third of F7 to the third of B flat minor. So let's do the fifths now. It's C going to the F. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. So there it is, guys. There it is. So the fifth to the fifth. Now we're doing the flat 7 going to the flat 7 of B flat minor. Here we go. 1, 2. And let's talk about the scales that I'm using over this F7 chord. Okay? Over the F7 chord or any dominant chord, you want to go up a half step and play the diminished scale. That under your fingers. Okay, that's G flat, A flat, A natural, B natural, C natural, D natural, E flat, F, and G flat. G flat diminished. You can also use, because F7 is the fourth of C minor, you could probably just do a C minor as well. Because, well, that's also the F blues scale. F blues scale right there. E flat, E, and F. E, E flat. So a combination of that is going to sound like this. Let's do the flat 7 to the flat 7. So that's the flat 7. Now I'm going to combine. I'm going to combine the 5 to the 3, 3 to the 5, or 6 to the 7 to 9, 9 to 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So that's what that is. The next part. It's a 2-5 to F minor. We did that part already. F7 to B flat minor. Then 2-5 to F minor. practice that 2-5 to F minor. Here we go. 1, the third of the third, third to the third. Ready, go. Let's do the fifths. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Now let's do the flat sevens. This is a half diminished. So what color are we going to play over this half diminished? Over any half diminished, what we do is we look at the root chord, which is G half diminished, and we go up a minor third. So go up a minor third, and you play the B flat minor major scale. That's the scale that you use to solo. All right, here we go. 2 5s from 7 to 7. 1, 2, 3. So that was 7 to 7. So that, that gives us the understanding and familiarity with the A section, okay? We're moving on to the B section. Which is ascending chromatic 2 5s. So the first thing, get familiar with the chords. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we are familiar with the chords. Now we want to get familiar with the chord tones. So the same concept that we used for the A section, we're going to use for the B section. So the third of D flat major 7 is F. Okay? So I like to use the relative minor. When we're in a major chord, you want to think of the relative minor key, which is B flat minor. Also think of it as a minor major 7, depending how bright or how dark you want your solo to be. All right, so we got the third, moving on to a 2-5 to D major 7, which is E minor 7, A7 13 flat 9 to a D major 9. So how do we connect that? We play the scale from the third. Even if you don't land on a chord tone, it doesn't matter. As long as you resolve, as long as you know where you're going. So that's why I love chord tone soloing, because if you land on this is not even in the scale. I landed on this, but look, So we have a passing tone, chord tone, passing tone, passing tone, chord tone. So it doesn't matter where you land as long as you know that you can hold on to your anchor notes, which are the quarter notes. Quarter notes are your friends. So here we go from the third. This is the fifth of E minor. I'm anticipating the A7 already. I'm already in A7. A9. A little tritone here action. Then we got a 2-5 to E flat major 7, and we apply the same thing. So let's do 3 to 3, going to the D major from the D flat. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was 3 to 3. Let's do 5 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 2, 3, 4. So we keep going. Once we land on this D major 7, we can think B minor. Okay, because it gives you a different color. Okay, going to E flat major. So we go from the D major 7, 2-5 to E flat major. But let's focus on this 2-5 to E flat coming from the D major. Third to the third. All right, one more time from the fifth of D major to the fifth of the rest of the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was the fifth. Let's do the flat 7th. Or in this case, it's a major 7th, going to the flat 7th of the minor chord, F minor, to the dominant 7th of the B flat 7 chord, and then to the 7th, the major 7th of E flat. So it's always the 7th, and the 7ths will change depending on the chord quality. 1, 2. So let's just focus on the 7ths, okay? Ready, go. One more time from D major, 7th of F minor, 7th of B flat. So that's how you get familiar with the 7th, the color. Feel the color. Okay, so there's an elegance to the 7ths, okay? And you want to get familiar with the character of each degree of the scale, and each degree has a different feel. So let's do the 7ths. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. D major. 2, 3. All right. So that was the 7th. Now what happens? We're in the key of E flat major. If you're getting some value out of this video lesson, remember to hit the like button. E flat major 7, you're going 2-5 to E major. So let's focus on just that. Let's do the third to the third of each chord. So the third is G of E flat. Then you go, the third of F sharp minor is A. Then you got D sharp of B7. Then you got the G sharp. All right, one more time. E flat major. 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we go on. There's a 2-5 to F minor. So we go. Okay, 2-5 to F minor. 1, 2, 3, the third. It's a half diminished chord to a C7 to the flat third of F minor. One more time. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 2, 3, 4. So that was the third. Let's do the fifths. Flat 5, G for the fifth, and C for the F minor. 1, 2, 5, go. All right, so that was the fifth. Let's do the flat 7. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was the flat 7, All right, guys, and then to finish off the tune, you go back to the A section and you practice that again, and you just repeat and repeat, because repetition is the mother of skill. And believe me, guys, you will see improvement, but you focus on one thing at a time. So just as a recap, we learned the melody really well. We add the layer of chords, just chords, getting through the form and getting familiar and being able to chordify the whole tune in different ways. Then combine the melody with the chords. Then you start your chord tone soloing approach, so you can get familiar with the tune measure by measure. If you want to do just one measure, if you want to do just 2 or 4 or the whole A section, I typically take 4 bars at a time, just so I can really grasp what I'm trying to learn and internalize it. All right, guys, that is it for me today. I want to thank you so much for hanging out. This is Piano Mastery Sessions. We are getting 1% better every day. All right, thank you, and see you on the next one.